to feel that I'm in the beginning of a new job or the beginning of a new journey or adventure, I feel really lucky because that shows you that you're still living. You're at the beginning of something.
New beginnings. Yeah. My favourite topic. You guys are no strangers to new beginnings, and I sometimes feel like I've been scared of new beginnings because classically when I was younger, I was terrified of change. And I've got a visual representation of what I was like on the cusp of change. So I would be like this, right? Okay, just going to show you.
Okay. Opposing it physically.
Like pinned.
Going with the flow. I think that's what she's
Pinned
trying
up against a wall, you know, and you're like, I'm in so much physical and emotional pain, please don't make me do. And then the change happens and you're like, why did I wait so long? It's so daft.
Yeah, that's interesting. Someone told me something last year, which was all pain is from resistance to anything. So it's like, if you literally, anything that happens, you're like, well, brilliant, anything, you get into a different frequency. It's when you resist that you are in pain. And that looked a bit resisty.
That was a visual representation of exactly that.
I think as well when you're, as a child, you know, if you go through a lot of change during your childhood, which I know you did and I did, I think that you do develop this absolute, desperate fear of things changing and changing. But actually, when you look at it in later life and look at that resistance, you sort of think, unless things change in life, then what's the point of living it?
Yes.
You know, it's all about change. It's all about reinvention at each different stage, you know, before you have children, after you have children. You know, I mean, everything is about change.
Yeah.
And you have to embrace it, because otherwise you're going to spend your whole life, you know, against that wall going, no. Just take the whole jar.
No, it's so good.
I treat the bad feelings as actually a signifier for things are going to get better from here. Our days are cyclical, our months are cyclical, everything about our life is cyclical. So of course there's going to be a darkness before the next emergence of light.
So you're sort of talking about acceptance.
That's kind of amazing. Like, how did you get to that point?
I was a child who experienced a lot of change. I moved to London very young. I think I've lived in 18 houses in London in 20 years. It was always super stressful, and I'd have rashes on my body. My hair would be thinning from stress. And then I just thought, actually, it's a signal. So just go with the flow. It's what you said about the resistance. I would be like, do I want to be someone who's swimming against the tide, or do I want to relax and just let the tide take me to the next place? Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely my personal philosophy.
As a visual person, as you could see, this visualization of you swimming, I just saw you swimming against the tide and then going, and going with it.
And trusting.
And I thought, how relaxing.
But it's also like that thing like King Canute, isn't it? Because the opposite of that, which is the other way that people resist change, is by thinking you can control it. So you're sat there going on the beach going, no, I can get this tide to go out if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And actually you can't.
What I think is quite interesting is that we've just talked about resistance and letting go. But in terms of new beginnings, in my life, there is an element of having to put one foot in front of the other. There is work to do. So change is difficult, but it's not something that just happens to you, a new beginning.
No, you have to kind of acquire the tools, and usually you have to go through quite a lot of pain to learn how to accept the pain more in the future. And as I get older, I think we're very lucky to be at the beginning of anything. I'm 41 now, and it becomes very real that life is not forever. It's not infinite. So to feel that I'm in the beginning of a new job, or the beginning of a new time in a home, or the beginning of a new journey or adventure, I feel really lucky, because that shows you that you're still living. You're at the beginning of something. When I was going through a lot a few years ago, sort of, which was happening at the same time as starting this new beginning of getting my career back and having the courage to sort of say to myself that I wanted it back. And
can I just quickly ask you something about having the courage to say something out loud about something that you want? Why were you nervous about saying that out loud?
Because then I knew I'd have to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, if I say I want my career back, then we're doing it. And I said it, and then I was like, right, let's go. Let's get on with it then.
for an awful lot of women, I think just living their day-to-day lives, they do feel fear. They do, the idea of goals is terrifying, or the idea of ambitions. And I think that just that feeling that actually, you know, ridicule and other people being derisive, or, you know,
I think
actually isn't the end of the world, you know.
Imposter syndrome. Even if you just say, I have imposter syndrome, you have put yourself in imposter syndrome. So the minute you say it, you are labelling yourself with it. I mean, we've all learnt the power of words and self-affirmations that are wrong.
Yeah, I think it's about baby steps a lot of the time, you know, because I think, you know, we set ourselves challenges and then become daunted by them. It's a bit like diets, you know, you go on a diet and immediately you want everything that you're not supposed to be eating, you know.
And everything you can't have.
And then you fail at the diet, you know, fail. Inverted commas, always from now on. So I think that new beginnings are really, it's very, very important to just be carried a little bit.
Yes.
And not, you know, I do think that one of the worst things women do is sort of flagellate themselves for not achieving this, for not, you know, doing that. And actually just to have the confidence to just be for a little bit.
I love that
go
idea.
with that
Just
flow.
be.
To just be.
So nice.
Yeah.
I would say for me, it's about having some form of ritual that sets the foundation for, okay, I'm ready for this new journey. So
it's preparing yourself.
Yeah, it's preparing yourself. And I think it's very hard to embark on a new journey when you haven't, it's like, I haven't packed my suitcase, I don't have my map, and like, where are you going? Throughout history, we've always had these fasting rituals before you embark on a journey. So I think the foundational ritual of taking care of the building blocks of our body and our mind allow us to take the baby steps and to thoughts become things and to do all the other stuff. So that would be a big one for me, is just mentally and physically prepare myself for the new journey.
For what's next.
God, that's so brilliant. Yeah. I would like for us to, I know this isn't a telling people what to do exercise, but I would like to see if there is something from what we've talked about today that you think, okay, this is one golden nugget. If I was going to give you one golden nugget to take away with you, it's this.
From us?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
Oh.
A wise one.
I've sort of learned...
I've got a feeling you've got one.
I've sort of learnt things from Shah and Mariella and you today, which I'm definitely going to take back. I actually really think this idea of failure in inverted commas is really important. And that thing you said about sort of like, if you can laugh at yourself, then maybe if you can't laugh at yourself, then maybe you're missing out on this big joke. I didn't realise how worried I am about that.
Yeah, me too.
And there is something about being there first. Even with like failure, it's like, it didn't work out. Yeah. I said it. First.
But can I ask you something quite interesting about this idea? Because when I meet somebody and they go, yeah, I did this thing, it didn't work, it was actually a massive disaster, but I've started this other thing. I always think this, and I'm sure you do too, I always go, wow.
Yeah. Resilient.
This is so attractive. Right. I'm not thinking attractive, I'm thinking attractive as a person, that you can own this and hold it. And it's funny because we love it in other people, but see it as a bad thing in ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, I think fearlessness is really important, and actually, you know, that is the thing that's impacted by, you know, an ability to let people laugh at you, just to not care, to care a lot less. I think women care way too much most of the time, and I think that is incredibly important. But also, just to sort of it's that fear of failure is such an intrinsic thing that holds people back, and also just always having to show a confident, successful face to the world. You know, what happens when you don't? Some of the most interesting times in my life have been when I've allowed myself to appear vulnerable.
Yeah. Can I just
because for me to be vulnerable, you know, that is a disaster. You know, when you've been come up punching your way all the way through from 12 years old onwards, you know, for anyone to think you can be at low ebb, that you have delicate areas, is a really scary thing. And I think that actually you get the best out of everybody when you're prepared to be vulnerable. you know, because then you see other people at their best as well. You see the kindness and the support that's available to you. If you're just kind of pushing through, you don't see any of that magic.
I would say it's really important to write your own narrative and control your own narrative and own your own narrative, whether you're at your best or at your worst. So when you were saying about the idea of a guy saying, or anyone saying, you know, I tried this thing, it didn't work out, and I've tried something else, what they're actually doing is controlling the narrative, and they're not hiding behind the fear of what they think you're going to say. My nugget is write your own story.
Girls, this is exciting. I feel like you're all in your natural habitat, so I'm going to watch and learn. It is like an act of self-love, eating something that you've planted.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was like the best chive ever.
We've got some herb.
New beginnings.
It's a lovely little herb garden.
And it's all you need.